I'm Big Booty 17, and you won't need this Hoglin farm for long. It's fast enough to last you for weeks, cheap, ridiculously easy to set up, and you don't need to mess with light levels or spawn proofing. Most Hoglin farms try to prevent piglin and zombie piglin spawns. For this design, we don't even bother with it. Instead, we take advantage of their behavior to filter them out automatically, making the build even cheaper and easier. Here's how it works. Instead of blocking piglin spawns, we let them happen, and use their AI against them to force them to despawn. Piglins naturally run away from soul torches, so all we need to do is place a couple of them, and then the piglins will naturally walk into these chutes and disappear. This means that we don't have to spend any time verifying the light levels or spawn proofing. We just place down 8 soul torches and we're good to go. This farm is optimized for this style of filtering, and because of that, we get nearly identical speeds for both cooked and uncooked pork chops. This farm is spawn space limited and not mob cap limited, meaning no matter how fast you kill the hoglins, spawn rates stay about the same. Older designs are known to use large hopper floors, which is overkill and easily avoidable. We've shrunk it down to a 3x3, using almost 2/3 fewer hoppers while still collecting everything we need. Additionally, this smaller size lets us use the hitbox of the larger hoglins to despawn all other mobs within the killing chamber. This keeps us from being slowed down by the mob cap and ensures we only get hoglin drops. This farm produces so much pork chop and leather, you'll probably stop using it just after a few hours. But if you do keep it running, you can turn these drops into easy emeralds. By switching to a campfire, you can trade the raw pork chops with butchers and leather with leather workers. This will net you about 1800 emeralds per hour, even before curing. Despite its smaller and simpler look, this farm is just as fast as multi-layered designs that you'll see out there. Mining out the spawning platforms takes almost no time at all. With just an efficiency 2 diamond pickaxe, you can have this done in minutes. Most of what happens in this farm is just clever use of the player's spawn spear. By using soul torches and trapdoors, we can quickly scare the piglins from the farm, as they flee to the corners and fall into despawn range. Then, inside of the kill chamber, anything with a 1x1 footprint is eventually pushed off the trapdoors onto where the hoppers are, where they instantly despawn. This includes baby hoglins, which is beneficial because they have no drops. Because of this, keeping them around would just slow down our farm. Additionally, to keep our hoglins moving to the kill chamber, we only need 1 layer of warped fungus. Since its scare radius doesn't require line of sight, a single layer is enough to cover both spawn platforms. This helps simplify our build, and making use of it keeps hoglins moving at the same rates as 2 layers of fungus would. Because we're so reliant on a single player's despawn spear, it's best practice to build it away from common areas on a server. If another player's spear overlaps with yours, the mobs may not despawn, which will lower the farm's efficiency, but in truth is not the end of the world. If you're liking these optimized, easy-to-build farms, consider subscribing. I break down builds and make them as efficient as possible, and there's plenty more where this came from. And a quick thanks to NachoCS and IanXO4. Their past work helped shape how we use the mechanics in this farm. Alright, now let's get into the build. Here's what you'll need to build this farm. The materials in my hotbar are all you will need to build this farm. In this tutorial, I'll also use extra items from my inventory to make the process smoother. The soul campfire is an alternate way to get raw pork chops instead of getting lava. I'll also show how to expand storage with extra chests and hoppers, and get to the above bedrock ceiling using a ladder and ender pearl. For easy access between the nether and overworld, I'll show you how to link some nether portals. This will require the obsidian in my inventory. However, if you prefer, you can break bedrock instead with the materials shown and skip the portals. I'll also use some extra scaffolding to climb around and spawn-proof the access tunnel. Additionally, any kind of trapdoor works, and if you don't have scaffolding, you can just use blocks and ladders instead. To make the build faster, I recommend using at least an efficiency 2 diamond pickaxe because it instantly mines the netherrack. But this is completely optional. This farm has to be built inside of a crimson forest biome. Hoglins will not spawn anywhere else. Ideally, you'll also want to build it away from common areas on a server since it relies on the player's despawn spear. If it's too close to other players, it could cause some interference. To begin, pillar up towards the nether ceiling until your feet are at y equals 118. You can check this by pressing F3 to open the debug screen, but be careful, there's always a chance you'll break into a lava pocket while doing this, so keep blocks ready to quickly patch any leaks. At this level in a crimson forest biome, we'll outline a 23 by 2 by 23 square, then hollow out the center to create our first spawning area. After outlining the square, mine out the center to create our spawning platform. Take a moment to patch up any holes or leftover gaps from excavating to keep the area even and clean. I'll be using a redstone line with numbers to help us count and find the center of the room. This is just for clarity, and the redstone is not part of the actual build. From one corner, count 11 blocks away to find the center of that side. Then, from that block, count 11 more to reach the center of the room. Remove the center block, then those around it to create a 3x3. Align yourself in the very center of our cleared area, then look up and clear another 3x3 space directly above for our next layer. Next, place a trapdoor in the center of each side and close it. Then repeat this for the 3x3 area at our foot level. Clear out 4 blocks beneath the 3x3 area for the kill chamber. Place a double chest as shown, and place 2 hoppers pointing straight down into it. Use the remaining hoppers to point into these, covering the entire 3x3 floor. Before continuing, open F3 and look at our center hopper to take note of its targeted block coordinates. We'll need these for later. Additionally, at this point, the Y level should be 114 for this targeted block. If you want uncooked pork, just place a campfire here. Otherwise, place 4 more closed trapdoors around the center and a lava bucket in the middle to complete our killing chamber. Count 3 blocks diagonally from each corner of the 3x3 area, then place a soul torch there. Repeat this for all 4 corners. At each corner of the platform, remove the edges and 2 blocks below it, clearing a total of 9 blocks. Then, at foot level, place open trapdoors along the edges. Directly above, clear out 3 more blocks, then place another set of trapdoors to match the ones below. And repeat this for each corner. Make your way above the topmost trapdoors. From here, we'll clear out the second spawning platform. This time, we don't need to count out 23 blocks. Instead, we can just use the trapdoors we placed earlier as a guide. When you reach them, turn the corner and keep going. Now, align yourself with each center trapdoor, then place dirt with warped fungus 1 block away from the outer edge. And repeat this for each center trapdoor. Then, in each corner, open the trapdoors and replace this block with dirt and warped fungus. Just like the previous layer, count 3 blocks diagonally from each corner of the 3x3 area, then place the 4 final soul torches. Make your way back down to the first layer and double check you have the correct open trapdoors. Now let's set up access to the storage. Pick the center of any side, then dig 2 blocks in and 4 blocks down to create a sealed off access tunnel. From here, turn towards the center of the farm and dig a path leading directly to the chest. Now is a good time to show you how to expand the storage. Clear out the space below the hoppers, then place 2 double chests as shown. Place 1 hopper leading from the main chest into each new chest. And if you want to expand this even further, just repeat this pattern, placing 2 more double chests with hoppers feeding into them, following the same setup. From the storage, turn and head upwards until you find a piece of bedrock at y equals 127. This is where we'll get onto the nether roof. Now that we've found the bedrock at y equals 127, we're ready to get above the ceiling. To avoid getting quasi-soft locked, we'll cover 2 ways to get back down, either by breaking bedrock or setting up a properly positioned nether portal. If you're planning on using nether portals, build one nearby and take note of its x, y, and z coordinates. We'll use these to line things up on the overworld side. You can check coordinates by looking at the bottom obsidian block of the portal frame. We'll go over how to use this in just a moment. Before ascending, make sure to spawnproof the area using your preferred method. I will be using scaffolding for mine. Head up to the bedrock block at y equals 127. Place a ladder, then hold forward and jump while throwing an ender pearl to clip through the roof. If you're breaking bedrock, start by placing a horizontal piston over our y equals 127 block. I'll be using a method showcased by Fallen Breath to remove the bedrock. Once everything's set up, flick the lever and spam place a piston as I'll show in a moment. I'll be using the Tweakeroo mod for this. This can be done without mods by clicking very quickly, but you may find it difficult. I'll be using the Tweakeroo mod to make it a little bit more consistent. For those opting to build portals, go ahead and place the obsidian at the same x and z coordinates you recorded earlier, this time above the nether ceiling. We intentionally build this nether portal right above our first one, so the only difference coordinate-wise between the two is the y level. This means we can do the same in the overworld, build portals with the only difference being the y level and have them connect. For this, we'll just multiply our x and z by 8 and build those 2 portals at those coordinates with different y levels. Portals always connect to their closest counterpart in the other dimension, using the same y value and scaling the x and z coordinates by 8. Since we built our nether side portals at the same x and z, we can now just build 2 overworld portals at the scaled location and their corresponding y levels. This gives us a clean 2-stop portal elevator that completely skips the bedrock ceiling. To do this, I'll build 2 overworld portals at the coordinates we noted earlier, one at y equals 120 and one at y equals 130. This creates a portal pair that will let us skip the bedrock ceiling entirely and move between both sides of the Nether. Everyone's coordinates will be a little different depending on where you built the farm in the Nether. If you're unsure about your portal placement, I recommend testing it in a creative world using the exact same coordinates for your portals. Doing this will remove any ambiguity, and it'll work the same in any world using the same coordinates regardless of seed. It's quick to check using creative mode and commands like TP, and it can save you a major headache that would be much, much harder to troubleshoot in survival. If everything lines up in creative, you're good to go. For our final steps, find the X and Z coordinate of the hopper at the center of the farm we recorded earlier, and place 64 plus 51 scaffolding straight up from that spot, for a total of 115 scaffolding. When you're standing on top, your feet should be at y equals 243, and the scaffolding's targeted block should read 242. To use the farm, leave your player at the top of the scaffolding. This should be safe since ghasts don't spawn in Crimson Forests. It's good practice to spawn-proof the top of your Nether portal, and you can leave a single scaffolding to sneak and prevent fall damage if you want to descend quickly. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, consider subscribing as the algorithm might not bring you back here. And as always, check the video description for the FAQ if you run into any issues. Thanks again.